Good afternoon, scholars. Mr. Fair here, and we're going to be working on a CRQ this week. So before you click and shut it off, slow down, okay? We're going to take it piece by piece. I'm going to give you some hints. We're going to talk about what a CRQ is, all those different things, but give it your best shot, all right? Remember that right now we're working towards trying to improve our skills. We're skill building, and that takes effort. All right. It's not an exam. This is a CRQ. I want you guys to put in your best effort and follow the presentation. And then you can always contact me with questions. Or I want you to try and do this as best as you can. Take your time. So let's look at what we're going to do today. All right. First thing I'm going to want you to do is be able to tell me, what does CRQ stand for? Right. If I ask someone that walks into class, or if you email me, what is a CRQ? Maybe your parent wants to know, what exactly is it? All right, so we're going to go over what it stands for. The next thing, what am I expected to do on a CRQ? Right? As a scholar, what are the expectations? What do you have to do well on a CRQ, whether it's for an interim exam or regents, whatever it might be? These are the types of questions that you're going to see the next 3 years or 4 years of school. And then what steps should I take? Meaning when I sit down at the CRQ, what should I be trying to do? What are there a series of steps I should take? And then what tips or hints do you have, Mr. Fair? So I'm going to go over some ideas or things that if you're in a pinch might help you remember or figure some things out. All right, so let's get started. CRQ is a constructed response question, as it says right here. Okay. And this is a sample one. And the one that I've been spending the most time on, and that's what we're supposed to be doing in ninth grade, is talking about context, whether it's historical or geographic. All right. Geographic context is usually going to revolve around a map of some type, all right, a graphic. And you're going to be expected to answer a question about the geographic context for the historical development shown on the map. So we'll talk about what that means in a second, but let's slow down and take a look at this. So what is it asking me to do? All right. Essentially, you're going to have to analyze the map, which we've worked on, right? We did the annotations in class. You guys were getting very good at it before everything happened. You guys were on point. You were able to look at a map, give me really interesting feedback, and that's what you need to be able to do anytime you're analyzing geography and when someone hands you a map, okay, is to be able to look at it and give the person more than the basic. Remember, I was always talking about, don't just tell me that this says this. Look at the pieces and try and tie it together. What's the story? What is it actually? What are some things you can pull from the map that maybe aren't just sticking out there? So right here we see like you have a picture of Japan, all right? Then you have the USSR, and you have Mongolia, China, the Pacific Ocean. Growth of the Japanese Empire, 931 to 41. So right off the bat, what can we analyze about this map, right? It is probably during that time period, you're looking at just before World War II into the very start of World War II. And then you can look at the different countries that were involved, and maybe you start to analyze it that way from the perspective of a war or the perspective of an aggressive nation, which Japan was, right? You guys are going to learn about that next year. So reading a map is very important, all right? How? Okay, the first thing you want to do is read the whole thing, right? You don't want to just go, all right, here's a map, and I don't know what to do. Look at everything. Read the key. Read all the locations. Do everything you're supposed to when you're analyzing the map. It's not much different than a reading assignment. It's just much more visual, all right? And if you have time to look over it, it will start to make sense. Don't rush yourself. Take your time. Read the entire thing. When you're analyzing a map, it doesn't necessarily just like the country, right? It could have to do with physical features, maybe the rivers. It could have to do with maps, or mountains. It could have to do with weather systems. Whatever they provide you with, you really need to look at and pay attention to the details.